We have this peculiar idea in our modern world that there is a rigid hierarchy of souls, that human affection belongs in one box and animal ownership in quite another. But I don't mean the simple act of feeding a creature or keeping it for utility. I mean when you really begin to see that the wag of a tail or the rhythmic purr on your chest isn't just pet behavior, but a profound, silent dialogue of the heart. And here's what nobody tells you. Your obsession with your pet isn't a sign that you're failing at human relationships. Do you ever wonder if they are the only ones who truly see you? Nobody tells you this, but for the sensitive soul, the introvert, the empath, the human world can be a noisy, deceptive theater. We spend our days navigating masks, subtext, and the exhausting dance of social expectations. Do you ever feel an instant wave of relief the moment you walk through your front door and lock the world out? Do you find that you can say more to your dog in a single glance than you can to a colleague in an hour of small talk? What if everything we've been taught about pet ownership is backwards? The world might mock you, calling you a crazy cat lady or saying it's just a dog, as if love were a limited resource that you're somehow wasting. But here's where it gets interesting. This intensity of connection isn't a malfunction, it's a symptom of an awakening heart. Let me share with you why this bond is actually a gateway to a deeper understanding of yourself. You aren't humanizing an animal, you are finally experiencing a love that doesn't require a mask. 1. The mirror of pure presence. The first thing you must understand is that animals live in a state of eternal now. While we humans are busy building cathedrals in our minds to the past and the future, the cat is simply being. It is a form of biological zen. Think of it as a stage play where every human actor is desperately trying to remember their lines, while the dog on stage is the only one who knows it's a play. I once knew a man who suffered from deep anxiety, and he told me that his golden retriever was his anchor to the earth. When his mind drifted into the storm of what-ifs, the cold nudge of a wet nose was a physical command to return to the present. This is the profound part. Your pet serves as a living meditation. This is why you feel so calm in their presence. They are pulling you out of your head and back into your body. 2. The end of the social mask. The second, even more important truth is the absolute absence of judgment. In the human world, we are constantly being sized up, our status, our clothes, our usefulness. But to your animal companion, you are a god who occasionally forgets where the treats are. It's like trying to pour the entire ocean into a teacup when we try to explain our vibe to another person. We use words, and words always fail. But with an animal, the teacup is gone. There is no filter. Consider the relief of coming home after a day of being on for the world and finally being allowed to be off. Your pet doesn't need you to be successful. They only need you to be there. This is the secret. They provide the only space in our lives where we are truly allowed to be unimproved. 3. The language of the unspoken. The third thing, which is perhaps the most insidious to the rational mind, is the reality of energetic resonance. Empaths often feel the weight of a room. Animals don't just see your face, they feel your frequency. Think of it as a radio dial. Most humans are tuned to the static of conversation, but you and your pet are tuned to the low, humming bass of the earth itself. Watch what happens in nature. Birds don't send memos to fly south, they just know. When your pet comes to sit by you exactly when you're about to cry, it isn't a coincidence. They are reading the weather of your soul. Here's what nobody tells you. This isn't imagining a connection. It is a biological and spiritual synchronization. 4. The sacred responsibility of the other. And the fourth, the most critical of all, is treating a pet as a child is an act of radical empathy. Our society tells us to conquer nature, to use it, or to keep it at a distance. To treat a lesser creature with the devotion of a parent is a revolutionary act of kindness. It's like the finger pointing at the moon. The pet is the finger, but the love you feel is the moon itself. By caring for this other, you are practicing the art of universal love. I've seen people who couldn't stand their neighbors but would move mountains for a stray kitten. Think about it this way. Your pet is a training ground for the soul. They teach you how to love without the hope of a return on investment or a spoken thank you. And that, my friend, is the highest form of spiritual practice. 5. The bridge to the wild self. The fifth thing to realize is that your pet is your last remaining link to the wild. We live in boxes, drive in boxes, and work in boxes. But that creature on your sofa carries the DNA of the forest and the stars. Swimming in the ocean is different from reading about swimming. Similarly, living with an animal is living with a piece of the primordial mystery. When you look into their eyes, you aren't just looking at a pet, you are looking at the universe looking back at itself through different sets of lenses. This is the part that changes everything. Your love for them is actually your own soul's longing to reconnect with the natural world you've been separated from. So, here we are back to where we started. You might have walked into this wondering if you were too attached or perhaps a bit broken for preferring the company of your four-legged friends. But all of these points connect because they point to one truth. Love is not a hierarchy. The beautiful secret is this. The depth of your connection to your pet isn't a withdrawal from humanity. It is an expansion of your capacity to care. You are not failing to be a normal person. You are succeeding at being a conscious one. You are not projecting human emotions onto them. You are finally recognizing that the gap between us and the animal kingdom is an illusion created by the ego. You are not broken. You are a bridge. The next time you find yourself apologizing for just being a pet parent or feeling silly for the birthday party you threw for your cat, remember what we've explored today. Honor that bond. It is one of the few truly honest things left in this world. You are the universe experiencing itself through the wag of a tail and the soft fur beneath your fingers. This is the dance we're all part of. And so, the journey continues. Be kind to yourself and to your companions.